Welcome to another video from DIY Daily. Just put together a full step-by-step guide, just running you through how to replace the lower forward-most suspension arm on this 2006 Audi A4. It's the B7 model. Now if we just show you, this is the suspension arm. The forward-most one is the one that the anti-roll bar and the shocker attaches to. We'll run you through everything a step at a time. And if you want to check out any of the parts or the tools used, just check the description below and I'll put links to them. And I'll put in the description all the torque settings as well. But we'll run you through everything and everything will be listed in there. Just start with, first thing we'll do is just get it up in the air, get the wheel off, then we'll run you through everything step at a time. Just going to want 17mm socket to get the wheel bolts out. Right, so now that we've got the wheel off, you can see the suspension arm. So earlier on it's this forward lower one. You can just see we've got the ball joint section of it there, where the shocker goes through there, the roll link attaches on there, and then just bolts up at the back there. Now on this, the under tray is actually off at the minute. Yours should have an under tray on it unless it's been taken off in the past, but the under tray is you can actually do it without taking the under tray off. With it off, it does just give a little bit better access to the bolts, that's all. But the under tray is really simple to get off. They've normally just got a load of half twist screws that you just use a flat bladed screwdriver to get off. But the reason that we're replacing this one, this centre bush there where the shocker goes through is quite badly worn. You can just see it sat right up against it there, whereas on that side it's sat right out. But if you just get your bar and just working it, you'll just see how much it just comes straight through on there. So that's the reason we're replacing this one tonight. But we'll just run through everything a step at a time. The first thing we're going to do is just give everything a quick spray with some penetrating oil. If we can see any of the threads, we'll just give them a bit of a scrub with a wire brush as well. You can just see for the back bolts there, you can access them, and for the shocker one there as well. So we'll just give them a quick spray and then we'll crack straight on. Now we are replacing this roll link at the same time as well tonight. So I'll just run you through that, but it's really straightforward. It only means taking this bolt out, whereas normally we're just slacking it off. We'll just give it a quick spray and then run you through everything. So now let's give everything a soak with penetrating oil. First thing I'm going to do is just undo this 18mm nut just with a buzz gun. Now that you've got the nut off, the next thing we're going to do, we've just got a hammer. I'm just going to give it a few firm knocks just on there, and you should just see it just drop down. Sometimes it drops down more than others. If we give it a few firm knocks, we should see it sort of just separate from the ball joint. What that does is just crack it off, just make it a lot easier to get out. So a few firm knocks on there, and you can just see normally, sometimes it drops down a bit more than others, but it's just separating there. But the best way to check whether it's sort of come off or not, if you just get your pry bar and just lever in against the other arm, you can just sort of pry it up. And you can see that just separates, so you know it's cracked off and released. But at this stage now, we're not going to worry about that yet. We're just going to move on. Next thing we can do, you want two 18mm. You can use a buzz gun on one side and a spanner on the other, or two spanners. Basically two 18mm to get the shocker one off next. So we'll just get that out now. Now that the shock's out of the way, next thing we're going to do is just undo the roll link. Basically got a 16mm bolt. Now they've got a 13mm there, but that is pretty, you can put your spanner on there, but it's just to hold it still so that when you're undoing it, it doesn't just rip it out the rubber there. So if you sit your spanner on there and just undo the 16. So we'll get that out next. And then if it wasn't replacing the roll link, all I would normally do is just crack this off. And then when you've cracked it off, you can just swing the roll link down out the way. But I will actually be taking it all the way out just because I'm replacing it tonight, that's all. just see there, if you want replacing it with that cracked off, you can just literally swing it down out of the way. Just makes it nice and easy to work around, but with replacing it, I'll take it all the way out. Now that that's out, left with the last one. It's just this 18mm through the back. Again, 18mm on both sides, so just 2 spanners, or if you can get in with a buzz gun or a battery ratchet, you can just get on it that way. Right, so now that's all out, next thing we'll have to do is just get the arm out. Now, it can sometimes be a little bit tight in there. You see that's come out dead easy, but if they are, just use a pry bar, just gently pry it out, or a little tap with a hammer, and you've just got to work it out. They can be a little bit tight. It's not too bad to do, but the ball joint, you've just got to sort of pull it up and just pull it in. Because of the roll barrier, you need to sort of push it over towards the sort of inside there. It's just, I'll try and film it as best as I can, get the camera up there, but sometimes I just get the pry bar in once I've tapped it up and just sort of pry it outwards. Just a little bit fiddly, but it's not bad to do at all, really. So that's the arm out. And see, it wasn't too bad. It was a little bit more awkward because of where I'd situated the camera. It was right in the way where I sort of wanted to be, but just a case of just jiggling it around and getting it in the right spot just to pry it out, that's all. But at this stage now, we'll just get the new arm, just get that slotted into place, and just run you through the torque settings as well. Just when slotting the new arm in, because the ball joints are really stiff from new, I always just sort of just twist it out into that sort of position there. It just helps when you first slotting it into place, that's all. We'll just get it located in and just run you through what the torque settings are. So now I've got the ball joint slotted in there. I'm just going to, again, you might need to use a hammer for this, just give it a gentle tap on the pry bar, just to knock the arm up into place there. And sometimes you can just line it up with a screwdriver just to locate it to put the bolt through, that's all. Just a bit of copper grease on the bolt. Right, so now I've got the arm fully mounted up, and I've just lightly run most of these bolts in, just give that a bit of a nip with the buzz gun. I'll just run you through what all the torque settings are as well now. So we've got a layout for the torque settings here, which you can just see. I'll overlay this over the screen anyway. Now I'm just going to do these with a buzz gun just by hand because I'm fairly confident doing it. But if you're a little bit unsure and you want to torque them up, these are the proper settings. But you can see the back bolt there, 70 Newton meters plus 180 degrees. The shocker one there is 40 Newton meters and 90 degrees. The roll link, 40 Newton meters and 90 degrees. And then the ball joint nut, it's a little bit misleading, I can't quite see it very clear on there, but I presume it's the same as that other one, 110 Newton meters. But if you want to torque them up properly, I'll overlay this over the top of the screen anyway. Just for now, I'm just going to nip everything up by hand, just run around it. So it's basically the ball joint, the shocker bolt, the roll link, and just the back bolt there. Once I've done that, I can drop it back down and torque the wheels up. But that's the basic replacement for this lower forward arm. Hope that's helped someone in the same situation if you're having a go at replacing yours. And don't forget to check out some of the other videos. If you've got one of these B7s, we've got quite a few other videos on them as well. But just for now, we'll just run around all them quick. Right, so that's everything knit back up. We're all back together now. All we're left with to do is just put the wheel on, just torque the wheel up. I'll put the torque setting in the description below for the wheel nuts as well, the wheel bolts. And if you're interested in any of the parts used or the tools, I'll put links to all them as well. But just for now, I'll just leave the video recording. I'll just speed through it while I finish it off. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.